Hello again, everybody. This is the Fantasy Sports Boss. Welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Sports Boss Fantasy Football Podcast. It is Tuesday, August 15th, 2023. And yesterday was a big deal in the fantasy football world because you had the signing finally of Ezekiel Elliott with the New England Patriots. And just about an hour after that, Dalvin Cook signed a one-year deal with the New York Jets, taking two of the two biggest names at the running back position that were still available on the free agent market off the market, and at the same time clearing up some of the gray matter, if you will, among the running back position for 2023 drafts. Now, Kareem Hunt's still out there, Leonard Fournette's still out there, Josh Jacobs still holding out. You have the Jonathan Taylor situation, so the running back is still a very, very muddled position, which we're going to get into. If you're new to the channel, just hit the subscribe button, share me out to all your friends and family, hit the like button as well. News flash, Javonte Williams will play Saturday against the 49ers. So Javonte Williams is going to suit up for the first time since suffering that devastating knee injury the beginning portion of last season, toward the ACL, the MCL, the LCL. Unbelievably made it back, and he's going to suit up week one. So that's just, there's no two ways about it. Javonte Williams is going to be out there now, week one, being complemented by Samaje Perine, who is not simply going to go away. So while Javonte Williams, represents a nice comeback story, first of all, but also a decently priced runner who, let's face it, if he were totally healthy, he would have gone early in the second round in drafts. You can get him now in the fifth, sixth round. So that's a potential bargain. But again, I think coming off the knee injury, always a red flag among running backs. You know that. And then you have the presence of Samaje Perine, who arguably is the best backup running back in football, has been for the last couple of years. And Sean Payton has big plans for him. So nothing is going to change there as far as Javonte Williams is concerned. The other news item wanted to talk about right off the top is Breece Hall. So Robert Saleh did nothing but compliment Breece Hall in terms of his comeback from his own torn ACL, and it looks like he himself is also going to be ready to go week one. So, and I guess we'll start with the Dalvin Cook situation because that was the bigger of the two, in my opinion, between him and Ezekiel Elliott. Now, I said yesterday in just that brief video that I put up, Dalvin Cook's presence. Now, he got over $8 million. So this is not, he's just going to come in and be the backup. Breece Hall, no doubt about it, the more electric player. But he, too, coming off a torn ACL. We know all about the struggles the first year back off a torn ACL. No matter how rapid the recovery is. And I think that they might take him, certainly slow. They can take him slowly now right out of the gates. And listen, that's the other thing. The Jets are a team, obviously, are all in for the Super Bowl. They looked past some character concerns with Dalvin Cook. They signed him. Aaron Rodgers freed up restructured his contract to free up salary cap space to accommodate Dalvin Cook. So they're all in. This is to win the Super Bowl. So with that in mind, there's no need to rush Breece Hall. You still have Michael Carter, who now unbelievably is the third running back on this team, and he's capable. You have, Zonovan Knight still there. Israel Abanikanda, very promising rookie, speedster. One of these guys you figure has got to go somewhere. They're going to cut Zonovan Knight. Are they going to trade Michael Carter? Does Michael Carter end up with the Indianapolis Colts? I mean, these are all things that now we have to start thinking about down the depth chart of the Jets. But they can afford to ease Breece Hall in and have Dalvin Cook take the reins week one, week two, however long it takes. Now, when Breece Hall is ready to be fully unleashed, he's still going to share time with Dalvin Cook. Again, you don't sign a guy for $8 million to have him just pick up crumbs. All right, that's just not going to happen. So what I said yesterday, Breece Hall, move him down from running back, low-end running back 1 in all leagues to high-end running back 2. Dalvin Cook, if he starts without Breece Hall, he's a low-end 1. With Breece Hall, he's a mid-running back 2. I think Dalvin Cook could get the goal line work. So again, this is concerning for Breece Hall. All right, so Overall, it's just not a good development for Breece Hall, who I was, certainly he made my initial list in May of the running backs, the my guy running backs. But the longer it went on, and the rumors with Dalvin Cook, I mean, where there's smoke, there was fire. And Dalvin Cook obviously now is going to sabotage Breece Hall's value to a certain extent. So the fact that now both of these guys are running back twos. And this is just another example of there's very few bell cow running backs. All right, now I'm going to talk to you guys about my draft. I'm going to go into that in a little bit as well. So we're going to get into that. But you have to be leery now about both of these guys. Now, if you draft them as running back twos, fine. But Breece Hall's upside was a running back one. Now, Dalvin Cook gets hurt, the whole nexus changes of this. All right? Breece Hall gets hurt, the whole nexus changes. So you still draft these two. I think Breece Hall might be a little overpriced now. Although, I expect it to come down his price tag the next couple of weeks. But both of them are running back twos. Now, the Ramondre Stevenson thing is a little bit more murky. So Ezekiel Elliott really is just going to be a goal line back. That's what I envision here. It's a role he did very well with Dallas last year. He had 12 rushing touchdowns. Doesn't have the burst and speed that he used to have. Not really much of a pass catcher anymore either. So, and that's the strength of Ramondre Stevenson. Now, Ramondre Stevenson, going back to college, was always a committee back. And that's what I've been saying about James Cook, too. Ramondre Stevenson's always been a committee back. He ran for just a little over 1,000 yards last season. He's a very powerful, good runner. Has underrated speed, really could catch the football. I mean, 69 catches last year is just tremendous from a running back. But now that you have Ezekiel Elliott, Ramondre Stevenson in a standard league goes from really a running back one in PPR for sure to a low end one. I still think he's a low end one because he's going to catch a ton of passes. In standard leagues, though, he's a clear number two. Maybe even a low end two, because I think Ezekiel Elliott, again, is going to get the goal line carries. So this now removes another guy who's a running back, no doubt running back one. And there's not a lot of them. So that removes Stevenson and Breece Hall, for that matter, from that no doubt running back one territory. All right, there's just no getting around that fact. All right, news flash. Aaron Rodgers suffered a calf injury during Tuesday's practice. He got through the practice, but he was noticeably limping around. Here's the deal with Aaron Rodgers. He's 39 years old, okay? He's already had a couple of issues already with his calf. When he first, back in minicamp in May, and now this. The Jets' offensive line is fucking horrible. All right? Horrible. All right, Micah Parsons left practice today with some sort of a leg issue. Not sure what that's about. That just came down. But Aaron Rodgers could be in big trouble behind this offensive line. He doesn't move anywhere near as well as he used to as a younger player. The Jets' offensive line is in flux. The interior is solid. The tackles are a mess. Mekhi Becton can't stay on the field. One start the last 2 years. He's overweight. I mean, I know he's drop weight, but he can't. He's always hurt. Dwayne Brown has hardly done anything. He's been on PUP. Max Mitchell's been terrible. So that if you have both tackles struggling, and this is a team that they're all in for a Super Bowl, this offensive line could be their undoing. And then if you have Zach Wilson in there, oh my God. If you're a Garrett Wilson owner like I am, this is the thing that keeps you up at night. This keeps you up at night. All right? So, major issue there. Potential for Aaron Rodgers. All right? So, I'm a little not concerned about this injury. Joe Burrow's been dealing with a calf injury. He'll be fine for week one. But it's going to be it's going to be something to watch throughout the course of the season. Can Aaron Rodgers escape the rush? How much pressure is he going to have? Is he going to be able to get the ball down the field to Garrett Wilson? So that's a little bit of an issue there. All right, so we do have to be concerned about that. Anthony Richardson will get the start from week one. Certainly a surprise. Gardner Minshew, we thought was coming in to hold the fort for the vastly inexperienced Richardson. We all know the lack of playing time in college. But on the flip side, he is a true rare talent physically. We're talking Cam Newton, size and arm, Justin Fields, speed, all in one player. So there is not a better quarterback to have for your backup in a single quarterback league because the upside is vast. The upside is top 5 this season. Now I don't think he's going to be that. He's got a lot of work to do with the passing side of things, which obviously is a big component of being a quarterback. But on the running side of things, Anthony Richardson is going to be breathtaking. He's going to run for 1,000 yards, take it to the bank. So certainly can he hold the fort in a single quarterback league? Absolutely, as a starter. But there will be rocky moments throwing the football. In Superflex League, you absolutely are going to use him. No question. Will he be able to consistently get the ball to Michael Pittman? That's certainly a question worth looking into. I have no shares of Michael Pittman, nor do I want to. If Jonathan Taylor makes it back onto the field, how many touchdowns is Anthony Richardson going to siphon around the goal line? How many is he going to run in like just Jalen Hurts does? So we'll just have to see. All right, so let me pull up my team. So I've been telling you guys about the one league that I'm doing a slow draft in, and how I've gone value at running back. So the last time we spoke, I told you guys I took Justin Jefferson round 1, Garrett Wilson round 2, Jalen Hurts round 3. Unbelievably, Jalen Waddle was there in round 4, and then I took James Conner in round 5. All right. From that point forward, so I still need another running back. I needed a tight end. In round 6, Tyler Lockett was there. So was Darren Waller. I went with Lockett because there's my flex. And I want my flex to be held by a receiver because of the much less chance of him getting hurt. All right, I want that flex to be operated by a wideout. So I have 4 wideouts. My 4 wideouts are Jefferson, Wilson, Waddle, and Lockett. I don't think I can do better than that. This is a 10-team PPR league. All right. Luckily for me, Darren Waller fell to round 7, and I quickly scooped him up. So now, Miles Sanders was sitting there. Don't forget, I still needed a running back too. Miles Sanders was sitting there, so was Cam Akers. I passed on them. I took Darren Waller. I'm a Giants fan. That was the Giants fan in me coming through, no doubt about it. Because, again, when you watch your own team and you have a player that from the team that you root for and you own them in fantasy, there's a little extra something to that, as anybody could attest to. So I went with Waller. Now, luckily, unfortunately for me, I should say, Miles Sanders went before it got back to me for round 8. But Cam Akers made it, and I took Cam Akers. So now my 2 runners are Cam Akers and James Conner. Those are my 2 starters. Now you're probably saying, oh man, that's like the all boring combo. But I got 2 bell cow backs because both of those guys unequivocally are bell cow backs who both could catch the football as well. And I got them cheap. I got the one in round 5, one in round 8. All right, it was more like round 4 and 7 in a 12-team league, but still values. So I didn't pay through the nose for Christian McCaffrey, Austin Eckler, who clearly are better players, but I stocked up with better players at wideout, less chance of injury, and I still got bell cow backs, which there are really not that many left. And then in round 9, I got David Montgomery, who was still sitting there. So I got David Montgomery now as my 4th back. Round 10, went with Deshaun Watson. I wanted to have a good backup because Jalen Hurts concerns me a little bit with the size, so I got Deshaun Watson, who you all know I've been all in on since May. And then I took Zach Charbonnet, the rookie for Seattle, in the 11th round. All right, so we're 11 rounds in. So I have 4 running backs that a lot of you might say, oh, they're not very good. James Conner, Cam Akers, David Montgomery, Zach Charbonnet. Charbonnet could be a true 3-down back if Kenneth Walker gets hurt, and that's part of his MO so far. He doesn't exactly stay on the field, Kenneth Walker, even going back to college. So this guy, Charbonnet, he can catch it, he can run it, he can do everything. So And I told you guys this, he was the number one handcuff running back in fantasy this season, in my opinion, and I got him. David Montgomery is my third back. David Montgomery, 17 rushing touchdowns for Jamal Williams last year. Montgomery is a better player. Now, I'm not saying he's going to get 17, but what if he gets 12? Jahmyr Gibbs, can he hold up? He's a smallish back. If something happens to Jahmyr Gibbs, I have David Montgomery behind the best offensive line, maybe the second best offensive line behind the Eagles in football. Cam Akers, James Conner, going to get all the work in this backfield, catch a lot of garbage time passes. I'm happy with it, honestly. And I have Jalen Hurts, Deshaun Watson, so I have insurance, prime insurance there. My wideouts are stacked. I'm good. You know, I passed on Sky Moore, who I like. Kadarius Toney's still there. I could always grab him. 16 rounds. I still need a defense. You know, the San Francisco 49ers defense, I was looking at it, but I just couldn't do it. I just can't do it that early. All right, newsflash. Justin Ross, leg injury today, doesn't appear serious. So Justin Ross is another one of those names, along with Richie James and Kadarius Toney and Sky Moore and Rashee Rice. 5 different guys. Who's going to lead this team in receptions? It's looking more and more like it's going to be Sky Moore. I still like Richie James a lot. But, Justin Ross was getting some attention, some hype. I don't see it at this point. So I'm really, other than Sky Moore and Richie James in a late round dart throw, I'm not chasing any of these receivers in Kansas City. Mike Gesicki has a separated shoulder. He should or could be back week 1. So this gives a little more leeway to Hunter Henry. This has got to be the most boring offense in football. I mean, Jesus, you got nothing but plotters on this team. You know, with Juju Smith-Schuster, Gesicki, Hunter Henry. It's just a bunch of guys who are just, and Mac Jones, a quarterback, who don't run well. Just boring as hell. I know Ramondre Stevenson, great, but Ezekiel Elliott at this stage, another one. He's not fast anymore. Just a lot of just boring, veteran, uninspiring guys, all right? TJ Hawkinson returned to practice Monday from an ear infection. No issues there. So the thing with TJ Hawkinson, we want to see him catch some more touchdowns. He's never been a big touchdown guy. All right, that's always been the knock on TJ Hawkinson. He's never been a very big touchdown guy to this point in his career. So you'd like to see maybe, a little bit more out of that from him. But to this point, it just hasn't been there. It just hasn't been there to this point. All right, so tomorrow, what's tomorrow? Wednesday, there'll be another podcast tomorrow for Wednesday for sure. I haven't decided when. I have not done a live stream in a while, guys. I apologize for that. It's just been very crazy. I do coach football as well, so that's taking up a lot of my time as well, plus all these drafts and everything else. So I will do a live stream. Certainly the latest by Friday. I want to get one in either tomorrow or Thursday. So look for that. Have the notification bell hit. Subscribe if you're new. And then basically any other news and notes and whatnot, I'll certainly update as we go along. So until then, guys, have a great rest of your day. We will chat soon.